Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. President Lee Jae-myung will visit Japan next week for talks with Japanese Prime Minister Takaichi. The Blue House announced on Friday that the meeting will take place on Tuesday afternoon in Nara Prefecture, Takaichi's hometown. The two leaders are expected to discuss regional and global issues, as well as ways to strengthen cooperation in the economy, society, and culture. This will mark their second summit following their first talks in Gyeongju ahead of the APEC leaders meeting last October. On Wednesday, President Lee will meet with the local Korean community before returning home. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni will visit South Korea next week for a summit with President Lee Jae-myung. The Blue House announced on Friday that Meloni will be on an official visit for 3 days from January 17th at the invitation of the South Korean president. The summit is scheduled for the 19th, where the leaders are expected to discuss cooperation on trade, investment and science technology. Also on the agenda would be the Olympic Winter Games in Milano, set for next month, as the top office added that the president will ask his Italian counterpart to take special care for the safety of the Korean team. Meloni is the first Italian leader to visit Korea in 19 years. Data from the Bank of Korea on Friday showed South Korea's largest ever current account surplus for any November, driven by an upcycle in the semiconductor industry that led to strong exports. Continuing its 31-month streak, the country posted a surplus of $12.24 billion, up sharply from October's $6.81 billion. The cumulative surplus for the first 11 months of last year was also the highest level ever recorded at $101.82 billion, significantly higher than the $86.68 billion recorded for the same period in 2024. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has warned European leaders to take President Donald Trump seriously over his push to bring Greenland under U.S. control, as Washington signals it is prepared to act if security concerns are not addressed. Speaking at a White House briefing on Thursday, Vance said the United States believes Europe has failed to adequately safeguard Greenland's strategic importance. He warned that if European allies do not take the security of the island more seriously, the United States may step in. Greenland occupies a key position between Europe and North America, and plays a critical role in the U.S. ballistic missile defense system. The island is also rich in rare earth minerals and other resources, aligning with Washington's broader effort to reduce dependence on China for strategic materials. The U.S. Senate has advanced a bill to curb further U.S. military action in Venezuela. Back on Thursday, lawmakers voted 50-46 in favor of the resolution to restrict U.S. military maneuvers in the Latin American country in the absence of congressional approval. 5 Republican senators joined their Democratic counterparts in a rare bipartisan effort to keep in check the administration's use of force. President Donald Trump, in response, has condemned the 5 Republicans, accusing them of undermining national security and presidential authority. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.